All right, Chapter 8, Hercules on the Lotus. To sum up the historical argument, Gwion, a North Welsh cleric of the late 13th century, whose true name is not known but who championed the popular minstrels against the court bards, wrote or rewrote a romance about the miraculous child who possessed a secret doctrine that nobody could guess. This doctrine is incorporated in a series of mystical poems which belong to the romance. The romance is based on a more primitive original of the 9th century AD in which Crierwy and Afagdu, the children of Tegid, Voel, and Cardowen, probably played a more important part than in Gwion's version. This original has been lost, though, strangely enough, the same dramatis personae occurred in Shakespeare's Tempest. Prospero, who, like Tegid Voel, lived on a magic island, the black screaming hag Sacorex, Pig Raven, mother of Caliban, the ugliest man alive, Prospero's daughter Miranda, the most beautiful woman, whom Caliban tries to rape, Ariel, the miraculous child whom Sarcorax imprisons. Perhaps Shakespeare heard the story from his Welsh schoolmaster at Stratford, the original of Sir Hugh Evans' The Merry Wives of Windsor. The miraculous child set a riddle based on a knowledge not only of British and Irish mythology, but of the Greek New Testament and Septuagint, the Hebrew scriptures and Apocrypha, and Latin and Greek mythology. The answer to the riddle is a list of names which correspond closely with a list that Roderick O'Flaherty, the 17th century confidant of the learned Irish antiquary Dolaud MacFirbis, claimed to be the original letter names of the Ogham alphabet, which is found in numerous inscriptions in Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, and the Isle of Man, some of them pre-Christian. Its invention is ascribed by Irish tradition to the Godelic god Ogma Sunface, who, according to the account given by Lucian of Samosata, who wrote in the 2nd century AD, who represented the Celtic art as a mixture of the gods Cronus, Hercules, and Apollo. A connection between the Ogham found in inscriptions and a 5th century BC Greek alphabet from Etruria. I can't say that word. Etruria. The Formello Servetri has been proved. Nevertheless, there is evidence that an earlier form of Ogham with a slightly different order of letters was current in Ireland before the Druids of Gaul came into contact with the Formello Servetri alphabet. It may also have been current in Britain, where, according to Julius Caesar, the Druids of Gaul went for their university training in secret doctrine. I first suspected that an alphabet was contained in Gwion's conundrum when I began to restore the purposely jumbled text of his Battle of the Trees, which refers to a primitive British tradition of the capture of an oracular shrine by the guessing of a god's name. This capture seems to have taken place early in the 4th century BC when the Belgic Brythons, worshippers of the ash god Gwydion, with the help of an agricultural tribe already settled in Britain, seized the national shrine, perhaps Averbury, from the reigning priesthood, two of whose gods were Arwen and Bran. Bran is the Celtic name for the ancient crow god variously known as Apollo, Saturn, Cronus, and Asclepius, who was also a god of healing and whose worship had been combined with that of a thunder god pictured as a ram or bull, known variously as Zeus, Tantalus, Jupiter, Telamon, and Hercules. The letter names of Gwion's alphabet apparently conceal the name of the transcendent god who Caesar calls Dis, worshipped in Britain and Gaul. It may be inferred that the earlier alphabet, containing a pre-Belgic religious secret, had a different series of letter names from those contained in Guyon's conundrum, that the alphabetical order began with BLN, not BLF, and that after the capture of the shrine, the divine name was altered. It now remains to be discovered. 1. What the letter names of Guyon's alphabet, the Biobaloth, meant. 2. What divine name was concealed in them. 3. What were the original names of the letters in the tree alphabet, the Beth Louise Nyan. 4. What they meant. 5. What divine name was concealed in them. Guyon gives us the first point in our renewed chase of the Roebuck by introducing into his romance an elegy on Hercules. Eulogy. I don't think that's eulogy, but elegy on Hercules, which I will quote presently. But Hercules is a word of very many meanings. Cicero distinguishes 6 different legendary figures named Hercules, Varro 44. His name in Greek, Hercules, means glory of Hera, and Hera was an early Greek name for the death goddess who had changed of the souls of sacred kings and made oracular heroes of them. He is, in fact, a composite deity consisting of a great many oracular heroes of different nations at different stages of religious development, some of whom became real gods while some remained heroes. This makes him the most perplexing character in classical mythology, for the semi-historical Pelopid princes of the generation before the Trojan War has been confused with various heroes and deities called Hercules, and these with one another. Hercules first appears in legend as a pastoral sacred king, and perhaps because shepherds welcome the birth of twin lambs, is a twin himself. His characteristics and history can be deduced from a mass of legends, folk customs, and megalithic monuments. He is the rainmaker of his tribe and a sort of human thunderstorm. Legends connect him with Libya and the Atlas Mountains. He may well have originated thereabouts in Paleolithic times. The priests of Egyptian Thebes, who called him Shu, dated his origin as 17,000 years before the reign of King Amasis. He carries an oak club because the oak provides his beasts and his people with mast, and because it attracts lightning more than any other tree. His symbols are the acorn, the rock dove, which nests in oaks as well as in clefts of rock, the mistletoe or loranthus, and the serpent. All these are sexual emblems. The dove was sacred to the love goddess of Greece and Syria. The serpent was the most ancient of phallic totem beasts. The cupped acorn stood for the gland penis, in both Greek and Latin. The mistletoe was an all-heel, and its name viscus, Latin, and ixis, Greek, are connected with vis and iscus, strength. Probably because of the spermal viscosity of its berries, sperm being the vehicle of life. This Hercules is male leader of all orgiastic rites and has 12 archer companions, including his spear-armed twin, who is his tanist or deputy. He performs an annual greenwood marriage with a queen of the woods, a sort of maid Marian. He is a mighty hunter and makes rain when it is needed by rattling an oak club thunderously in a hollow oak and stirring a pool with an oak branch, alternatively by rattling pebbles inside a sacred colocynth gourd, or later by rolling black meteoric stones inside a wooden chest, and so attracting thunderstorms by sympathetic magic. Let me see. Yeah, I'll stop there.